Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at ntnm.org. Community policing, we're real big on that. Caps24.org, National Night Out, Tuesday, August 6th. National Night Out in Sonny's Beat, which is Devon to Peterson and Kedzie to Ridge, is going to be at Greenbrier Park from 6 to 7:30. Tuesday, August 6th, National Night Out in 2412. My Beat is Devon to Pratt, Kedzie to Ridge. That'll be at Warren Park, 6 to 7:30. It is a pleasure to introduce you to somebody who is actually one of my favorite guests and such a pleasant person. You know, even if our politics can be completely different when we talk about it sometimes. But you know what? Some people are just nice people and you have to like them. And I've never heard a bad word about her. And that's Judge Marguerite Quinn. How are you?
Hi, nice to see you again.
First of all, my pleasure. Thank you very much. And before we get going on other subjects, I want to make sure that you know, your bailiff actually is somebody I've known for many, many years, Kenny Hollander.
Yes.
And he actually just recently retired.
He just retired, and if Ken is watching this, Ken, we miss you desperately. I think you ought to come out of retirement immediately, and that's a court order. All right? We do miss him, though. He was really great on so many levels, so we miss him.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a good guy, that's for sure. So anyway, let's talk about the judicial business.
Well, I'm assigned to Skokie, and I do the criminal. I'm mostly on the criminal side, although I do some civil. But I handle everything from traffic tickets to felonies in the Skokie courthouse. So, and I've been doing that now in Skokie for 5 years.
Wow.
Yep.
So, I mean, do you enjoy it? Is it different than being? I mean, it's different than being a lawyer, but.
It is. It's very different. I really enjoy it. I think it's a great. For me, it's such a great occupation. Every day is new, every case is different, and I really have a sort of curiosity naturally about things, and so it's perfect when you have a trial. You hear one side, and then you hear the other side, and then you get to decide based on the law and the facts. So for me, it's the absolute dream job.
No, and it sounds like if you've got traffic court, then you're processing multiple cases in a day.
Yes.
What's the longest trial you've ever presided over?
The longest trial is it was a 4-day jury trial. And it entailed it was a battery of a police officer, and it had multiple witnesses, and there were spectators on both sides of the issue. And the great thing about that is that it was a jury trial. So my duty in a jury trial is to make sure that the defendant is getting the fairest trial, you know, in the land. And so I just had to make sure the evidence was coming in properly, and that everyone behaved themselves, because there were some people in the you know, the observers who were a little boisterous about certain elements of the trial. But you know, we made sure that you know, everyone got a fair trial. And that was great.
Yeah, I was actually sat on a jury once.
Oh.
And it was not a major case. As a matter of fact, the guy had no business asking for a jury in the first place. And I just think he wanted the longest sentence possible because he needed a place to live. And Cook County Jail was the place. But it was definitely like a culture shock. And it was so interesting because, you know, in covering judges, I never got to see the other side of life. Mm-hmm. And that is something I just, you know, I didn't even think I'd be picked. I didn't even worry about bringing a candy bar because none of the food was kosher down there.
Yeah, I know, it's true. Although you can make a request for that, because I have gotten that before. And there are certain vendors that supply the food for the jurors, and we accommodate that. Yeah,
I kind of knew this trial wasn't going to last very long. I mean, they basically, my judge was Diane Cannon, not the movie star.
No, but Diane, she was a former state's attorney. I know her well. She's very, very good. She's a great judge.
And she let us know that, you know, however long it took the trial was going to be dispensed with that day.
Right, right.
And yeah, it was a really good experience. It was a good chance to see, you know, life from the other side and give me a better appreciation. And, you know, I've always imagined, you know, like what it would be like to be on a jury, because I used to watch all these lawyer shows like The Defenders and all that, and used to have this funny idea about what court was like. But when you're actually there, it's like, you know, I was really listening to the judge and taking the instructions and trying to do things right.
You know, I found, and I've done many juries as a prosecutor, and I've also done, you know, 20 juries as a judge. And I have found that, without exception, jurors take their obligation very seriously. And when the judge instructs them, to disregard certain evidence and that, this is the standard of proof, they take it very, very seriously. And I think jurors are great, and I have never had a member of a jury after the verdict complain that, oh, this was a waste of time and why did I bother? Every juror I've ever encountered really enjoyed the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad I did it, and I'm not even afraid of jury duty anymore.
I know. Isn't that funny? People have said that to me, that, oh, they really didn't want to do it, but now that they've done it, they want to be on another jury. So I think that's a credit to the system that we have here.
No, I took my obligation so seriously. I mean, I just felt like, I was part of a system that was like a good thing.
Right. It is a good thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts of the system I'm not so crazy about. But that was something I definitely liked.
Well, what was interesting is I've done, when I was younger, I did quite a bit of traveling. And one of the things that I would do is I would stop in at the criminal courts all over the world. And because the British, colonized most of the world, there are all kinds of courts in places that you wouldn't imagine that are English speaking. And I'd sit in on trials. And it was a very interesting experience. And I in particular would hear and listen to what the judges were doing and how they instructed the jurors. And so it was great. I mean, it's really, I think our system here is the best, I have to say. I'm biased, I know, but I do think our system of justice is the best.
Well, there's a lot to like about it. And the fact of the matter is, one of the things I like too is there's an awful lot of quality judges, and I think that means a lot. And you're definitely one of them.
Oh, you're great. Thank you.
It's okay. You can pay me afterwards.
Please, no.
No, we're just kidding. It's the same way when Dick Devine would come here or Anita Alvarez would come here. I tell people to vote early and often for him.
Right. I know.
So you're running for office?
I am. I am going to put my hat in the ring once again for the Appellate Court. And the Appellate Court is actually the best job on the judiciary, I think. You are given a set of facts and the law, and you get to review what the trial court has done. And I like it. It's a little bit more academic than what I'm doing now. I love trial work, but I also love books and analyzing the law and writing, which is great. So I'm going to try it again.
Good luck. I mean, what kind? Well, you're not allowed to really campaign as a judge.
I am not. Well, we do, but we don't.
There's a way to go. Right, exactly.
Right.
So, I mean, what kind of things do you do?
Well, first of all, you try and get endorsed by the Cook County Democratic Party, which I'm going to try and do. And
Good
also,
luck.
yes, thank you. And also after that, you go to political functions like any other candidate, and you introduce yourself to the voters, and voters get to know you. And so I've done this before. My name is out there. I've met a lot of really great people who were really good to me in the last election. And I've been getting phone calls.
Yeah, everybody likes you, that's for sure.
Well, thank you. That's really nice. But I have been getting phone calls and saying, well, what are you going to do? And so I think I'm going to do it again. As crazy as that sounds, I'm going to do it again.
Well, it's definitely a good way to meet people. And by the way, if you do want to meet her, don't commit a crime. I mean, go to one of the functions.
Right. Don't do that. But go to the functions. And I would encourage everyone to read Avi's piece at election time, because you do a great evaluation of the judges. You really do. It takes a lot of time. And I, quite frankly, I thought you were right on the mark.
Oh, thank you.
I really do. And so those of you who don't know who to vote for, Avi's got a great resource.
Oh, thank you. I keep forgetting I'm supposed to plug Jewish Chicago, which is my publication, which will be out before the election, but it's still a few months to go. But I want to thank you very much, Judge Marguerite Quinn. I want to wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you so much.
And I hope you get elected. I shouldn't say that because I don't know who's running against you, but I'll still. You're a hard person not to cheer for. Let's put it that way.
Well, thank you. That's so nice of you to say.
Okay.
And thanks for having me tonight.
First of all, my pleasure, and I want to thank you, my entire technical group, Sonny Hirsch. And we are at a time, everybody. Thank you so much. Be well. Bye-bye.